Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Wedding Business TV. Brenda and I are going to talk about the three most important aspects of SEO. And I really wanted to talk about this because there's over 200 ranking signals that Google has that they take into account when they're ranking your website and when they show you in the search engine results whenever somebody types something in. And this is straight from Google's mouth. I was listening to a webinar. It's probably about a month and a half ago,
So
and
it's really recent
yeah, it's
information too.
recent. And the guy was talking about the two things that, well, he did say three, I think, but he most of the time they won't tell you the third one, at least the one that we're going to get into. But he specifically said these are the top three things that Google looks at. So we'll kind of get into those. Did you want to add anything to?
No, I know that when we talked briefly about what those three things are, I'm very familiar with the first two items, but I had no idea what the third item was. So I think people are going to be really interested to hear a little more about that.
Yeah. Well, the first one people probably don't want to listen to, and they don't like doing it. And it's just your content. Uh,
No way
I,
around it.
no way around it. I mean, you cannot get away with thin content on your website these days. I mean, you can't just have a page with a paragraph and, a few pages like that with just basic information. It becomes stale. It's not enough information. People are looking for answers. So content is the first one. And I've said this many times before. The number one stated goal Google has is to present people with answers whenever the first time they search. So if you're not providing those answers, if you just have something generic, it's going to be very hard to rank. So content is the first thing they look for, and they want to make sure it's relevant to what your site topic is about. And this is another thing. I'm working on. My wife has a. Now have a travel division of Yellow Umbrella events. It's for destination weddings and groups and stuff like that, and it's Yellow Umbrella Travel. So the topic of that whole site is just travel in general, at least the homepage. And then when we start breaking it down, one section is going to be about, destination wedding. One's going to be about honeymoons. One's going to be about like group travel and stuff like that. So it's all, you have a very topical level for your website. It's kind of a very broad term. And then each individual section, it's like a silo of your website is going to be something underneath that's a more refined, focused aspect of the whole topical one. So that's something they look at as well. And I know you get into that when you're building websites.
Right. It's the information structure of the website as well.
Yes. The next one is links. And this is going to be internal and external. Links help you build authority. First of all, you don't have a lot of control on the external links. So basically, this is the links that people are linking to your website. So maybe they write an article and they reference you in the article. They could reference just your business name, which is going to be a brand link, which may go to your homepage because it'd just be like, for her, it'd be like Yellow Umbrella Travel. So maybe they just have that as the anchor text and it links to the homepage. Other aspects of this is where you really get it is where it's keyword based. So like hers would be like best destination wedding planner. If that were an anchor text and a link from another high authority website coming back to her website, that adds a lot of credibility because what it's doing is it's telling Google, first of all, that they trust you, that you have the content that can answer a question that they're talking about. And whatever the anchor text is telling them what that page is about.
So is
So,
is that going to have a lot more value than just a brand link?
I mean, you need both.
Yeah.
Brand, first of all, Google loves brands. I read a great article the other day, and it was talking about when to use brands and when to use like keywords, and it's got to flow. It's got to sound correct when they're reading it.
Right.
So if it's appropriate to use your brand, use the brand. But if it's something they're just generally talking about, destination wedding planning, maybe they don't want to add the brand name to it, and they'll just put, the keyword to it. So, and it helps tell, but you do need brands as well. Actually, the majority of the ones you probably need are brands, links,
Okay.
but you can get those through citations, directories,
Directories, yeah.
social media sites, stuff like that. And there's hundreds of those out there that you can get from. So that helps build up your links for your brand name, and it tells Google who you are.
Okay, so those are external ones coming from external other websites.
Exactly.
Can you explain internal? Because I think most people have a sense of what that is, but it might be good to clarify.
Internal is when, let's say you've written a lot of blogs, and you're writing another blog. If it's appropriate and you have another piece of content that's relevant to something you're saying in that blog, you can link to that page. So it's internal. You're keeping it internally within your website, and it could be to another blog. It could be to another page. Within your website, those are internal links, and those are very important too. And the anchor text associated with that is very important too. And this is where you don't, they always talk about ratios of anchor text. Technically, you're supposed to have a certain percentage of branded text, anchor links, a certain percentage of keywords, a certain percentage of what they call naked links, which is just your website. Then there's image anchors, so you put within
And
the
this is
image.
why
Oh,
people don't like working on this stuff.
exactly. Then there's, of course, the brand ones, long tail keywords, or just
Oh my
regular
gosh.
keywords. So when you start getting penalized, even from other websites that are linking to you or from within your website, is when you're using the same keyword over and over and over and using it as anchor text. That's when Google says, okay, you're over optimizing, you're trying to manipulate us, and they drop you in rankings.
So diversify the terms that you're using.
That's it. That's it.
Yes.
And you can do that through semantic keywords. So keywords that are related.
Can you give some examples of that?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, on the
Uh,
spot.
on the spot. Well, say you're a wedding planner. You can obviously use wedding planner. You can use wedding consultant. You can say, the best wedding planner in Austin, Texas. So you can make it longer. Just don't use wedding planner as the sole
Exactly
anchor
the same.
text
So it's just
all the time.
variations on that
Yes,
same term.
variations of it in
Okay.
different ways.
Okay.
So the next
So,
one,
so we've covered the first two then. We've got content and we've got oh wait, no, there was a third type of link, was there? Or was that
uh,
was just the anchor
that was
link?
just
Okay.
basically the anchor
So we've
text. Yeah.
covered we've covered content and links. And this
And links.
third one, you asked me earlier if I'd heard this term, and I have actually not heard it before. So tell the good people what the third factor is.
Third one is called rank brain.
Rank brain.
Rank brain, and probably a
Sounds
lot of people.
very scary and official.
It does. I envision a brain in a glass container,
It's very
at
sci-fi.
Google or something like that. Exactly. What rank brain is actually artificial intelligence that Google has created, and it learns according to your actions. So it's constantly watching and learning what you do when you're searching, where you go, how you, once you search, how you react to what you search. So do
Very
you click
big
on the,
brother.
exactly. So when you, and again, it's very big brother. Their stated goal is to give you the best possible answer to the question that you have.
Right.
So this is another version of them to do this, a way to do this. Now, in the past, everything has been very mathematical, an algorithm on how, and you control on your website through your SEO and all that stuff, how you can rank. And that's what, SEO is for them to know you're there and what you do and to rank. And what this does is this goes beyond what you do. This goes into taking it to the behavior of the people searching for you, which is a scary aspect in a way. And a lot of people are saying, well, do I need to get rid of SEO? Is it worth it? Yes, you still need SEO. SEO
It's just one of the factors.
is never going to go away. You're always going to need on-page optimization. You're going to need, off-page optimization, which is your backlinks. But it's making it to where you actually have to provide something of value to your
The
users.
horror.
The horror. And the value comes in what? The form of content.
Content. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
it's all a
so
happy
they're
circle.
exactly they're looking at the user engagement, how people interact through either once they get on it. Now,
Now, I know we're going to talk about user behavior
we
in
go.
another video, in
We will.
another episode, because that's
Yes.
just another, we want to drill down into that a little bit more. But
Yes.
um, yeah. So I think you had a description there of a little bit about what this rank brain thing is.
Yes, this I took this from an article on Forbes, and I'll read a paragraph here. Bear with me, I'm not great at reading. I was always the kid that hated reading aloud in school because I was horrible at it. Anyway, here we go. Um, Rank Brain is an artificial intelligence system that's being applied to and used with Google's current search engine algorithms to provide better results to user queries. Rooted in machine learning, Rank Brain will use mathematical processes and an advanced understanding of language semantics, which is the semantic keywords,
Yeah.
to gradually learn more about how and why people search and apply those conclusions to future search results. Rather than being pre-programmed to respond to certain situations in a specific predetermined way, like Google search has been up until now, it can update itself over time. Think of it as a robot that can constantly scour for better parts to upgrade itself, rather than relying on an outside human for occasional maintenance. So this is scary, almost. And this is on
And that was the
Forbes.
whole purpose of this video, right?
Yeah. And this is on Forbes, and I think I have a link that I can provide if people want to look at it. But you can just type in Rank Brain, and there's going to be some information on it. You can find it, obviously.
But I guess, I mean, the main takeaway then is really focus on providing great value. And that's how you're going to win this game, is by providing content that people are actually looking for and is going to benefit
Exactly.
them.
And what is this
So,
going to do? This is going to make you look closer at who your customers actually are. You're going to have to, investigate who they actually are,
yeah.
what they want, and then you're going to have to provide it to them.
So all those
And
things we've always been told that we're supposed to
exactly,
do, and now we're really having
forced to do it.
forced, but we're really being incentivized to do. I think back to the whole Mobilegeddon situation, and up until then, folks have been told responsive, mobile friendly, that it's really important. And then it finally got to the point where you do this, or you're going to be penalized. And I think we're seeing the same thing now with the value of your content.
And that's exactly it.
So,
They tell you for way in advance what they're looking for, and they give you time to build up to it or start working on it. The problem is most people, they're looking at it in the future and they're like, oh, that's going to be later on. And then when the time comes, they're scrambling to actually do it. And I know there's another topic that we have slated that we're going to talk about that's similar to this, or along these lines. They've been telling for the past 2 years that you need to do this, and it's starting to be a ranking factor. But that's for another video.
is that the
Stay
SSL stuff?
tuned. Yes,
SSL will be.
you just
Yeah.
gave it away.
Oh no, they don't know what we're talking about yet. All right, so that will be a future episode, and otherwise, I think those were the three we wanted to talk about, and
Yep.
I guess we'll see you next time in another episode when we talk in a little more detail about some of these topics.
We'll talk to you later.
Okay.